Hey, it's Todd with Defense and Safety here. I was watching Hickok 45 yesterday, and I saw him do a review of a Sig P220, and it got me thinking about my Sig P220, so I thought I would do a little mini review myself and show you mine. He mentioned he had one in the 80s or 90s, and this is when I purchased this one. Actually, it's unloaded, as you can see. This is a Sig P220 I bought back in the mid-80s, and you're not going to be able to see it on here, but on this side it says, I can't even see it, Sig Sauer, made in West Germany, so W. Germany. So obviously the cool thing about this is there is no West Germany anymore, and on the other side it says Sig Arms Inc., Hendron, Virginia, which I think now they're headquartered in New Hampshire. There's no rail. Rails didn't exist back then, and I've replaced the harder plastic grips with a hoe grip, which just fills your hand a little bit more, and actually I found suddenly to be much more accurate with the gun afterwards. Back then, these came with 7-round magazines that were flush fitting. Since then, Sig has introduced these 8-round magazines, which are not flush, as you can see, but nonetheless awesome. They're actually made in Italy, it says so right here, but they're really well made magazines. Awesome. I load mine with the this is the Winchester Ranger T 230 grain, and with all my guns I'll take like my 3 favorite hollow points, and so in this case it was the Ranger T's, the HSTs from Federal, and the Gold Dot, all 230 grain. And I take like 5 rounds each, and I get a target about, I'd say 7 meters away, 7 yards. And I have 3, targets on it that I can shoot at, and I just hold the same point of aim each time and see how accurate, how tight the group is, and point of aim, point of impact. And I look for the closest point of aim, point of impact. I think all 3 of those guns, that ammo is excellent for self-defense, and so whichever one seems to shoot best. This pistol will shoot anything. I mean, this never had a hiccup. It's never had a failure to feed, and I've shot a lot through this. I actually about 3 years ago sent this back to Sig, had them go through it, so they replaced kind of all the springs and things in there. I had what's known as a trigger smooth trigger job and a short trigger reset. So essentially what a lot of the SIGs nowadays come with the short trigger reset, or it's an option. With this, this time it didn't have that. So as you can see here, when you press this trigger, get in the light a little bit more, and hold it, I need to reset it, and then you come forward, it's just that far, and then you go again. And then of course the double action now is much smoother. Still firm, still takes some effort, but it's much smoother. And that smooth first shot is really critical in these types of pistols where you have us go from double action to single action, because what you're trying to do is under stress not accidentally discharge the weapon, but be able to line your sights up and then press that trigger without it disrupting your sight alignment. And the one thing I have to say is, if you're going to own a SIG where you have this double action, single action, you definitely need to practice with the first shot. If you have a holster in your area where you can practice drawing from the holster or from a low ready, just coming up, pressing that first shot, and then decocking. And just practice that so that you get really good getting that first shot off. And when you feel like you've got that, then go into a first shot, second shot, because the second shot's going to be single action. And keep decocking and doing that. Coming up, bang, bang, decock. Go to low ready, check your area, clear your area, then decock. And just keep practicing that. I see a lot of guys at IDPA who will actually want to load their gun and reholster it like this, because it's IDPA and they want to have every shot be single action. Now if this were a 1911, I'd have a safety on this, and so obviously before my finger touches the trigger I would sweep that off, come onto the pistol and press the shot. The problem with this pistol is there is no safety. Really the safety on this gun is the fact that the first shot is a harder, longer double action pull. It's hard to accidentally discharge this gun. So you imagine coming out of your holster with a gun in this shape, your finger just touches this trigger as you're coming out, you're going to have a negligent discharge. I think if you're going to own one of these guns, you've got to commit to the double action part of this pistol. Now they make double action only. It's a DAK version. You can look for it. Now those are very different. They're a lot lighter trigger pull, and it's a very easy pistol to shoot fast and accurately. So it might be a great pistol. For some people recommend it as a first pistol, whereas a Glock, has a little bit crisper trigger, and some people don't really recommend that for beginners. I think it's a fine trigger for beginners. So, you just need to be able to shoot this pistol the right way. The other key thing is after you shoot this pistol, you need to remember to decock. You do not want to holster this gun, reholster this gun, or set this gun down, or stand around with this gun in your hand with this in this cocked mode. You want to always decock, be at the low ready, clear the area. If you do need to come up and take another shot, you've trained. You know how to take that double action, single action. You're not going to have an accidental discharge because maybe you shot a few times. Now you're in single action. You come up and you're pointing it. You're holding the gun on someone and you're nervous and something startles you and you have a negligent discharge. So it takes a little bit more training. It's similar to the type of training you need with a 1911. You need to be able to sweep the safety on and sweep the safety off. I've had this gun, obviously, a very long time. It's a very easy gun to disassemble, probably one of the easiest guns out there. You just lock it back, you take this lever down, and the slide comes right off. You've got a alloy frame, very light, and then you've got just a spring with the guide rod and the barrel similar to a Glock. So it's very easy to take apart, very easy to put back together. You just... it's hard to do this through the camera. Once you line it up and lock it, you just flip this back and you're good to go. And this gun will feed anything. I've never had a problem feeding. But it's a great pistol, very accurate. I love shooting this gun. Feels good in my hand. Nothing wrong with a 45. If you want to, give me any gun, I'll take a 45. 9 times out of 10. I just love a 45. You've got 8+, so you're carrying 9 rounds and a second magazine. I think that's plenty of firepower. You hit somebody with these rounds and they count. So, again, this is my mid-80s, made in West Germany, Sig P220. Love it. Never going to sell it. Thanks for watching.